So I'm going to do my best to try to keep this mic in front of my face while I talk about Google. So I'm Will Reynolds. Thank you for coming. Google's making a lot of changes, and I want to talk to you guys a lot about the changes that we're seeing, how to find some of the changes that Google's making, to think about the impact they might have on your organization, on your business, on your website. And this is going to be a little high level. Usually I go very tactical and I give you very specific things to walk out doing. The problem is I feel like I've been giving people a lot of like tools to build a house, but no blueprint. So today we're going to take it back a little bit and blueprint this, and hopefully we don't get crazy amounts of feedback in the process. So how many of you guys saw my keynote here last year? Awesome, cool. All right, so I got a question for you. Do you remember the title of the keynote? No. Something with a bad word in it. Bingo. So I'm really bad with the bad words. It was titled, No Fucking Shortcuts. Like, I swear to God, like that's what the title was, right? And it's because I wanted people to stop taking shortcuts. I saw this coming. So how many of you have heard of Penguin, heard of Panda, heard of these penalties? They didn't exist last year before my keynote because I was trying to prepare you guys for what I saw was coming. So not that I'm going to get all like into like about me, but I've been doing SEO for 13 years. It's the only thing I've done since I graduated college every day of my life. So when I say, hey, I think Google's going to make a change, there's a good chance that change may actually come and stick. So, so that's what we talked about last year. And I talked about things like this. Like, any of your heroes that you look up to in business, do they sculpt PageRank? No, they don't talk about those things, right? They just build real businesses. And I was talking about how, like, I think we fell in love with the things that were easy. Oh, I found this easy way to get these rankings, and it's okay. And I was trying to get people to fall in love with what was hard, not what was easy, right? Because I knew that the easy stuff wasn't going to work much longer. So I'm not giving that presentation again. But if you want the video, the presentation, and all the links, I created a bit.ly for you to get them all from last year. It's a great precursor to what I'm going to talk about now. Hopefully you guys made some changes. But I know some of you guys did not listen, right? So obviously there are people in this room who have been hit by stuff because I was trying to tell you last year, stop that crap. So it's like, there you are walking along with your like link network or whatever you got. And then you got like Matt Cuts at Google is just like smash. But you got to think, like, how long did you think that was going to work? Like, how long did you just think, I'm going to trick all those PhDs at Google? Smack, right? So, so this is a lot of you, and that hurts, right? Face down in a bunch of ice. So the first thing I want to talk about is how to diagnose Penguin if it's happened to you. This is probably the biggest thing that's happened to a lot of people, and people don't know how to diagnose it. So I'm going to give you guys a quick crash course on how to diagnose the Penguin penalty specifically. And this is kind of detailed, and then I'll go high level, and I'll go back into detail again towards the end. But the first thing you have to do to diagnose this is get your links. These are the only 3 tools that I would recommend right now to get them, because you've got to get all of your links. So if you use some kind of a tool that only gets you a small part of your links, then you may completely miss the opportunity to understand how to get the heck out of Penguin. So Google's webmaster tools are good. They'll give you all your links. They'll also give you dates on those links, which most people don't know, because you want to look at velocity. Did you get in a network and build a bunch of links all at once? You can get that. Bing's webmaster tools is amazing. They have completely revamped their webmaster tools, and they give you so much more data. So a lot of the stuff that you see in Google's webmaster tools, they'll give you that for your competitors in their tools. So you can drop other people's sites in, and it'll show you their links and things like that. And there's 2 other sources. One's called Majestic SEO, and the other is called SEO Moz, and they both allow you to get your backlinks. So the one that I'm going to talk about from the example I'm going to use is going to use SEO Moz's Open Site Explorer. So even if you're not hit by Penguin, if you have ever hired somebody to do SEO, you need to pay attention. Because I would say 75% of the people that do what I do, and I love my industry, have done complete garbage. They've done complete garbage, and you got rankings, so you thought they did a good job, right? And then you don't know that they're absolutely risking your business. It is sad. I have seen people go out of business, legitimate businesses, hire tons and tons of employees, going out of business because they just can't bounce back from the Google penalties. Because they weren't doing this stuff, but the SEO they hired got the ranking, so they thought that all was good. So if you own any site that you care about the traffic to, that anyone other than you has touched, you need to look at this. If you are going to buy a site from somebody, you need to look at this, because people are dumping crappy sites left and right that people are buying without knowing that they've been hit. or that they've got the kind of profile that will get hit. So think about it. If I got a site, and I've been building crappy links to it for the last 2 years to win, and build all this traffic, and I can show you my AdSense revenue, and I can show you all that, and I go to sell it to you because I know what's coming down the pike from Google, you're going to get the penguin slap. Ooh, I'm going to buy your site, and I'm going to get the links, and I'm going to do, and psh, done, right? So I think for everybody in this room, you should watch this. And if you have questions on it, I will be doing Q&A, but what's really neat is we have a booth here this time, and I just brought a bunch of people from our SEO, analytics, and paid search teams, so you can just like go up and ask us any questions at any time. We got like 5 laptops. We're up there just looking at people's sites and helping them avoid issues. So if you've got questions, just go up to our booth, and we'll be more than happy to do it. We're so busy right now, we're not even taking on really new SEO leads, so this is not like a lead play where we're going to try to get you in some email list and try to sell you later. I need to hire more people. I can't even take on the work we already have. So there's no one up there trying to sell you on squat. This is purely to help you guys not get hit. So I took this site for Climbing Frames UK, right? So yesterday I sent out a tweet asking for a business that's purely based on drop shipping, right? So this is a pure drop ship business. There is no like warehouse, no inventory, right? And I looked at their links, and this looks pretty normal, right? So when you look at a company, you know, it makes sense that the majority of their links actually include their brand name, right? That's nothing innovative, nothing new, right? And there's not like tons and tons of links. You know, there's 7 here, 9 here, 6 there. What you want to be careful of, let's hope this doesn't get bad. So what you want to be careful of when you look at this is, I knew it. All right, pointer. All right, so what you want to look at here is like when you have a bunch of links that contain the anchor text, if it's not branded and it's like the word like trampolines, that's a problem because that's not the name of your business. It is natural for the name of your business to be the thing that's most likely linked to your site. It is completely unnatural to have some words you want to rank for as the one that's got the majority of links. So I looked at this and I went, this looks pretty good. And then one of my friends said, that doesn't look good. And I said, well, what do you mean? He said, you didn't switch this one little thing. So when you do this and you use SEO Moz, you want to make sure that you look at all pages on the subdomain. And then we got this. Look at it. Does your site look like that when you look at your backlinks? If it does and you haven't been hit, then you will be hit. That is unnatural, right? It is unnatural for SEER to have more links that say SEO company than SEER Interactive. So if we all can nod and go, that makes sense, don't you think those PhDs at Google have already figured out a computer to figure this out? They have. That's completely unnatural. So you want to be careful of that. Because guess what? The name of the company was like UK, Climbing Frames UK. So why is it that trampolines, 8-foot trampolines, 10-foot trampolines, 14-foot trampolines, 12-foot trampolines are all linked to a lot more than their own brand name? Makes no sense. If the company's name was Trampolines, they'd be okay. Yeah, that's a problem. That's disgusting. All right, so here's another thing. Website traffic. Thank you for keeping this project free and updated. Clip-in extensions. Anybody here got clip-in extensions? I don't. Trampolines made a donation. Trampolines did not make a freaking donation. A company with a real name made a donation. So why are you using the word trampolines? Anybody in here, if you're still putting your name or anything other than your name as a comment on a blog, whatever you're doing for SEO ain't gonna work in a couple years. And I can't wait for you to get burned by it because you're just polluting the web. Like your name, my name is Will Reynolds. It's not SEO in Philadelphia. So why am I leaving a comment on someone's site that goes, SEO in Philadelphia left you a comment? That's bullshit. Like that's not what my name is, right? But yet, look, this is working. The problem is this stopped working when Penguin came around. And all of a sudden people went, oh crap, Google's doing something to me. No, you got away with crap for a long time. This is the kind of site that the link was being gotten from. Workouts to do in trampolines. Anybody here ever worked out inside of a trampoline? It would be kind of difficult. This is what happens when you get like, oh, I got somebody on Mechanical Turk to leave me a bunch of, seriously? You're going to build a business off of somebody on Mechanical Turk for $20? Do you think Google wants to rank that for the long haul? Child, please. All right. So another tool you're going to need is Ahrefs. So now you've got all your links. But now you got to start looking at, well, who are these people that are linking to me? Okay. This is the tool that's going to help you with it. I think this one has a small, so all the ones I've showed have some kind of a free option to start, and they have some kind of a cost. If your website doesn't make you any money, then don't spend any money. But if you actually rely on the web to make you money, which is why I think you guys are all here, then it's worth like the 15 bucks per month to run this, even if you just do it for like once every 3 or 4 months. So what you do is you take a domain and you drop it into Ahrefs and you click on SERP analysis and you click search. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to click on the daily stats, because it'll start off on organic keywords. I want you to look at daily stats and then click on the keywords tab, because it's going to default to search engine traffic, which is not what we want, because that's more of an estimate. When you click on keywords, you start getting graphs like this. So you should start putting in the sites that are linking to you into a tool like this, because it will show you, at this point, they were ranking for, almost 40 keywords. Now Google's got them down to about 19. That's okay, that happens. Our site even has some crazy fluctuations, it happens. But when the majority of the sites linking to you follow this trajectory, or look like this, oh, we used to rank for 800 keywords and now we rank for freaking 0. If your links are on that site, what do you think is gonna happen to your rankings? If Google's constantly devaluing massive parts of the web and they don't pass any value anymore, what's gonna happen to your rankings? I'm not speaking until you answer. Somebody's awake here. They're gonna go down, right? It's like the Nelly song. All right, so look at that. What you will find for penalties is if you're in a network, you're gonna put in a bunch of sites like this and they're all gonna drop at the same time. That's when you go, oh crap, that network that I was in, that network that crappy SEO company put me in got found out, because all the sites are gonna go at the same time. So what I'd recommend is as you put them through, you start looking for the drops. See that drop on March 12th? Looks pretty similar around the same time, right? You will find that, whoa, crap, I got a lot of sites that are completely garbage linking to me, and Google's devalued all of them. Who in here is thinking like, well, what's keeping my competitors from doing this to me? Anybody? Anybody thinking that? All right, if you're thinking it, why don't you ask it? You guys can ask questions like anytime. Let's go, this is interactive, right? So the thing that makes it hard for Google to, for this to work, for somebody to do against you, sorry. The thing that makes it hard for this to work against you is because you've got to be doing something to offset this. So if you're not doing anything of value today to help make people's lives easier, connect with people and help them in an area where you have expertise, guess what? You're not building any community. You're not building any assets anyone wants to link to. So you've made it infinitely easier for me to point a bunch of bad links to your site and tank you, because you have nothing to off balance that you're actually doing something of high quality. And I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. Here's a really nasty tip. It's not even a tip. I wouldn't do it, but somebody did it to one of my clients, so I'm gonna share it with you. If you know a site that's been hit by Penguin, it's a great time to go and buy them a bunch of bad links in a network. They'll never get out of it. So once Google's devalued your site, what you're gonna allow people to do is just point really nasty links to you. So anybody here tried to clean up a Penguin site so far? Cool, good. I'm glad a couple people are willing to raise their hands. Most times people think like Google's in the room or I work for Google or some shit, and I'm like, zap, zap, zap. No, like I'm here to help you guys. So, so if you've been hit, you file a reconsideration request. The best way to do it is to just out yourself. They're smart. They have computers that are smarter than all of us combined. So don't try to trick them. Tell them everything you did. So what we've been doing is we've been saying, here's all the links our client got before they started with us, because we don't build that kind of crap. Here's all the links. Here's what we've gotten rid of. The bad part is I've got a client right now that is gaining about 500 links a week with the anchor text. Even from the time that we stopped and said, we're not doing this, Google's like, tough. Sorry, you're not back in. You're not back in. You're not back in, because you keep building these bad links. And we're going, we're not building them. So one of their competitors is funneling links at their site now that they've been hit to make it harder for them to come out of it. Question?
With the anchor text, does that only count for external sites linking to you, or does that also count for internal sites, internal links that you have going elsewhere within your own site?
Good question. So the question is, when you look at links, so when you actually go back to like this, right, like links containing the anchor text, the question is that only external sites, or is that also your own internal? SEO Moz has the ability for you to filter out the, and say external only, and that's what I would recommend you do. Because if you've got like a navigational dropdown, and it says contact us even, right? Then all of a sudden you've got a lot of the same text over and over and over and over and over again, and that could look bad to Google, but I think you're okay here because it's something that Google's used to seeing, right? It's when that says contact us for SEO services in Philadelphia. Nobody labels it that way, right? So be very careful about that. All right. So once you have your links and you've put them into RFs, you will now be able to see, oh crap, I got found out, right? Hopefully you haven't gotten hit. If you guys, I'm telling you, everybody should go do this. We'll go do it for you at our booth if you're having a hard time doing it. I got a full account. I got unlimited credits. I will help you with this because nothing makes me sadder than when people try to build legitimate businesses and get hit. If you're in some link network that you thought you were just going to put a couple bucks into and you're going to get a bunch of links, and I don't really want to help you, but it's the people who have been trying to build real businesses that are getting hit by crappy SEO firms, I'll try to help you guys out. So I've already answered this question, so let's keep moving. So like rabbits are cute, like bunny rabbits are cute, but that's not cute, right? This is what happens when people just try to scale crap over and over and over again. It's still crap. It's still crap. So stop trying to take something and say, how can I make it happen over and over and over and over and over again? You got to cut that mentality out because it always leads you down a path of taking shortcuts. And here's like Google coming in on its like white horse with its like Grim Reaper, right? They're just killing websites. But guys like me, I actually love the Penguin update. I love it because it got rid of crap. It got rid of the crap that was winning. And like, last year when I was saying, you guys should do all this high quality stuff, people are like, sure, go ahead, Will, spend all that time on that crap. I'm going to get my links out of this link network, $50 for 100. I'm going to go to Mechanical Turk and just have a bunch of people link to me for crap. And it worked for you, right? And then all of a sudden this comes along and hits you, and I go, I was trying to tell you guys, right? So my question for you is, for those of you that were at the session last year, who that day was like, I'm going to start to change the way I do things? Nice. That makes me so happy. What makes you sad is there was a lot more people that raised their hand. I was like, I was there, dude, it was awesome. And you didn't change shit, and you got hit, didn't you? Right. If you're doing low quality stuff, Google does not want to rank that for the long haul. Think about yourself as if you worked at Google. Would you want people to get links that just say trampolines, like walk in exercise in trampoline? Like that would be an embarrassment to you and your PhD and all the smarts you have if that stuff is ranking. And Google people don't like to be embarrassed. So they're going to work and build a computer to figure it all out. So I want to take you guys back to 96 or 86. And it's sad. There's two guys in this picture that aren't even with us anymore. It's so sad. But you think about it, like, how would you sell software in 86? There was no search engine. There was no Google to trick. How would you sell software? Think about it. And then you go do that, right? How would you actually connect with real people to sell your stuff? How would you sell the Commodore 64? They didn't have search engines to trick back then, right? Didn't you hate it like when you had like a driver that you needed before the internet? Anybody remember the before the internet when you would like lose a driver for like anything, like a mouse or whatever it was, and you'd be like, damn it, there's no internet. I have to write them and get a disk. Sucks. So I want you guys to think, like, have you gotten in the mentality of exploiting temporary opportunities? Stop trying to exploit temporary opportunities. Stop trying to chase the Google algorithm to find an area that you can temporarily exploit. So these are some tactics that people used to do. How many of you in here went to college? That's a lot of hands. All right, so please tell me, why the heck did we go to college to learn how to do crap like this? This is marketing? This is marketing. I'm going to get an old domain with a bunch of links and I'm going to 301 it. Like that's marketing? Buying text links and footers? Like this is what you didn't have to go to college for this. You could have saved yourself a lot of money. You could have still gotten freaking beer. I got 10,000 Pinterest accounts that I can get fake pens from. That's what you went to college for? None of this crap is marketing. Look at it. None of it. None of it. But we've done it for years because it worked. But like, were you actually like proud of it? Like, were you actually like, wow, I got a bunch of fake digs. Look at me. Like, seriously. We've somehow allowed that to become what we do, right? Ask yourself, have you ever gotten a conversion off of a fake dig? Has somebody ever put money in your pocket because of fake stumbles or fake pins? They don't do it for me. I need real clients, right? Like, ask yourself, if you're not getting any conversions from it, why are you doing it? And it's like, is that what we really are? Like, seriously? Like link baiters and three-way link exchangers and image alt stuffers? I will get you 5,000 Twitter followers on Facebook. Stop this. It's easy though, right? It's easy and it may work, but is that what you aspire to be? Like, hey son, what'd you do today at work, Dad? I got 5,000 fake Twitter followers from Pakistan. Like, nothing to be proud of there. Look at this crap. It's like, oh, I'll get you 100 Facebook likes for 20 bucks. And if you want US-based ones, it's $24. Text link ads. Like, if they're not going to convert for you, why are you getting them, right? So I started a hashtag, and it's RCS, and it stands for Real Company Shit. I want people to start doing real company shit. For so long, we've been getting away with fake crap that has been working, that it's time for us to actually step our game up a little bit. So the first goal I have for you is I want you to think about how can you take what you know and make someone's life easier. That's not a fake stumble. That's not some Pinterest crap. How can you make someone's life easier? People are building entire business models off of this, and they're winning, and they're creating real businesses. So I landed from Chicago. I'm from Philly, so I'm definitely not from Chicago. Love Chicago, not from Chicago. I'm a Philly guy. So I land in LaGuardia, I landed LaGuardia yesterday. I'm like, I don't know how far Manhattan is from LaGuardia. Is it far? Is it not far? So I type it in. Here's my first result. Yahoo Answers in Malaysia. Awesome. How far is it? How long is it going to take? Can anybody tell me? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Read it. Yeah, you can't read it. It's a bunch of stuff. Who wants to read that? Right? Or even better, how about this? I just want to find out how far it is to get there. That's all I want. Why do you want me to read paragraphs? World taxi meter. Okay, I guess I can type this in. I'm on my mobile, damn it. Remember, travel search. I'm in an airport probably. I'm on my mobile. Why would you serve this to me on a mobile? Because I guarantee that I should have done this research because I can show you it's easy. But I guarantee probably 50, 60% of those searches are done on the mobile. Taxi meter, yeah, okay, thanks for putting it in kilometers, US. I have run a 5K, so I know it's kind of like 3 miles, but And this. Now, look at that. Is their intent to help you? Is their intent to help me better know how long it is to get from LaGuardia to Manhattan? No. Because there's the answer when you block out the freaking ads and the shit they want you to do and stumble this and click this and all that crap, right? So the yellow stuff is all about them. And that other color, because I'm colorblind, I think it's green, those are ads. And look at the answer. Look how much real estate they've given to the answer. Crap, right? There's no money? Who cares? The point? True. Right. At the end of the day, the only way somebody makes money with that result is run an ad next to it or something. But there's no money in it. You know what's really freeing? Because you're talking about there's a profit motive, right? And there's got to be somebody's going to make money on it. Somebody's got to rank there, right? Google's not going to show 0 results, and I agree. The scary thing about the world today is there are people who will do shit for free that other people are trying to make money on. The person who wants to do it for free will always destroy the person who's trying to make money on it usually, because they're doing it for love. I would do my job for free. Bring it, right? So I'm not in this for the money. I'm in it because I found something I love to do, and I like to talk to people about it. So I could beat that result out if I wanted to, because it's crap, because somebody's in it for profit. The problem is when this happens. Boom. Screw you. You made money for a little while. Hope you didn't buy a boat on that you mortgaged or that you leased, because you're going to make a lot less money, because Google went, we're just going to give you the answer. Why? Because Google's like, we don't need to make any more money. Not on that, they're not. Do you work there? Don't speculate about what Google will do. I have found it's a surefire way to be like, you know what, I would agree. Google has a profit motive for probably everything that they do, but knowing that doesn't help me one bit, right? They're a publicly traded company. That's not like a big secret. Dude, I kind of agree, but I'm just trying to make my life easier, dude. And I'm saying, if we in this room decide to figure out things that make people's lives easier, you could have put ads on that other site, but you could have made the font of your answer freaking huge so I could see it. You could have put the ad somewhere else, right? There's a lot of other things that you could have done to value add, but it's like, ooh, crappy links, got it, done, awesome, give me my AdSense check, right? So, but the problem is if that was somebody's serious profit, if they made a lot of money on that, it is now gone. So it's okay to take a temporary thing and exploit it for a little while, but if you're going to mortgage a house and you need to continually make that money for in perpetuity, Google will come along and just kill stuff like this. And I got a lot of examples of this, guys.
Does Google always favor their own results against the others?
Don't know. Does Google favor their results over others? I got examples of where they are not favoring their results, but they're just saying, this is our result. What? You know, so there are examples of that, which I will show you. So to me, when I look at travel search engines, I look at them like affiliates. Like, I mean, you know, Kayak doesn't have planes, right? So let's look at what we get. Expedia. I love Rio. Anybody here from Brazil? Yeah. Are you? Dude. Oh. So I have a long-term goal of mine, and it's to work from Copacabana Beach 1 week every year until I die, right? Because I just love it down there. I love it there. Sao Paulo, not so great. Rio, awesome. So here's Expedia. Oh, awesome, ads, 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 right? Hey, you got 2 stops. Don't know freaking where. I'm not going to tell you where the stops are. Like, you got to click. And then if I'm looking for a flight, I got to click a lot to find my answer. Awesome. How far are the layovers? I don't know. And then they're telling me, I would walk over there, but they're telling me it's like powered by some other airline. I don't care. Like when you get on a plane, you're not like, ooh, who's this plane powered by? I don't care, right? But that's what they're trying to do, right? So this creates opportunity. Kayak, a lot cleaner. I got 2 layovers again. Where are the stops? How long are the layovers? I don't know. Like, think about it. Like, a layover for 12 hours for many of us is different than a layover for an hour, right? Who in here loves to stay in the airport for a 12-hour layover? Who doesn't mind half hour or an hour, right? You don't mind it. But you don't know that here. Oh, that plane's got Wi-Fi. It surely doesn't have Wi-Fi to freaking Rio de Janeiro. There's only one airline that has Wi-Fi across international, and that's Lufthansa, and it's only across from the US to Europe. So everything else is ground-based. So I know it's going to stop, but you know what? They're telling me your plane has Wi-Fi, not both legs. So then this came along. Anybody use this site? It's Hipmunk. If you have not used Hipmunk, it's like chipmunk with a Hipmunk. If you have not used this site to book travel, it will change the way you book travel. Because they had a purpose. They wanted to take the agony out of booking travel. So you know what I can look at right here? Hey, I wonder which flight has Wi-Fi. That one does, right? And I can look at all the other flights that do. That one that flies out of Charlotte, so that's the flight I always take. That one has Wi-Fi from Philly to Charlotte on one of their A321s. And then I can see that the layover is in Charlotte, right? I can see my layover here is in Miami. I can see my layover is in Chicago, right? I can see all the different airlines. See that little thing right there? That means I got about a half-hour layover. Might miss my flight to Rio, right? A little bit of a delay, you're going to miss it. Do you see how much information I can grab out of just looking at this? They've made things easier. Same content. They decided to just make it easier for people to use. So now I don't have to click on 8 or 9 or 10 different ones and trying to figure out who's got Wi-Fi, who doesn't, how long are the layovers, and reading it. I can just look at this and say, holy Jesus Christmas. So I'm going to leave at 11 o'clock at night, and I'm going to stay in the Miami airport on a layover until what looks to be around 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I'm going to fly somewhere else on TAM Airlines, and then I'm going to land here, and I got another layover. I'm not taking that flight, right? I didn't have to click on squat to see that. That on Expedia right now. It's a pain in the ass. So look how much information you can get, but it's the same source of data, and this is kind of what I'm talking about, right? The idea is, yeah, Hipmunk's making money on this, Kayak's making money, Expedia's making money, but Expedia right now is like, crap. That's better. I bet you there are people at Expedia right now that are like, yo, I use Hipmunk to look for my flights. And I could give you guys a Zappos example, because they don't make shoes, right? But everybody goes, oh, of course, oh, Zappos, Hipmunk, they're venture funded, we're affiliates, we don't have that. All right, I got something for you. Anybody here of Climbing Frames UK? Didn't think so. Keep your hands down. Nobody heard of these guys. So I'm not going to just come up here and show you guys Zappos and Hipmunk. But these guys do real company shit. And I'm going to show it to you. They ask for testimonials. Do you see how small the scroll bar is for testimonials? And they're real people. They're not like, hey, can you leave a testimonial on this site acting like you bought my stuff and I'm going to pay you 30 cents on Mechanical Turk? That's not what that is. They're real people who are talking about like, hey, you know, I noticed or I contacted customer service and there was no hesitation, blah, 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 blah. That's real shit happening there, right? They produced 100 quality videos. Stop busting out the, what's that little cam, the flip? Stop that. Like, get a tripod. Come on now. I'll buy a tripod for anybody in this room. Make some real quality video. Stop editing it yourself. Make it look good. When you look at these guys' videos, like, I wanted to jump on some swings. That's how good they looked, right? I'm also a kid at heart, but whatever. And they produced 100 of them, and they walk around them so you can kind of see how their stuff is done, and you can see the craftsmanship. You can see the size of the bolts they use, right? Because you want your kid to be safe. You don't want your kid on something that's like going to break. And then you know what they do? They encourage people to take pictures from their cell phones and text them the pictures and leave a comment. That's what that is. That's real company shit, and that's not some big-ass brand. And people leave them. And you should see this list. When you scroll to the bottom, it then has to reload all over again to show you more, and then I scrolled again, and it had to reload again, and I just quit. And I said, okay, I get it. There's a lot of people who love your stuff, right? They run contests. If you buy a slide through them or you buy something through them, you can win it back. You can win the cost back. And then they're saying, text us your image, email us your image, upload your image to Facebook, tag us, tweet your picture. Use us, use this hashtag so we can track it. Google+, Pinterest, etc. Right? That's all high quality stuff. And look at the design. That pig looks cool, right? They even do things like use in-house ad inventory that they could use. They're using it to get people to guest blog. Hey, are you interested in writing? Yeah, I'm interested in writing. Awesome. Then you can write for us. That's a great idea. That's a great way to use inventory that otherwise you're just selling and not getting any clicks on, so it's not making any money anyway. They're using it to start to build more content and make a content machine. And there it is. Look how nice that looks, though. Like, let's not just be like, oh, I'm going to go do that and throw up some crappy page. Look at how nice that looks. That looks great. It looks better than my crap. So because this person offered up their site as an example yesterday when I was tweeting looking for an example, and he's trying to grow his US business, which is swingsets1.com. Do not like the number 1 on the domain, but whatever. He gave a code and said he would give somebody $100 off any order. I am not a freaking affiliate, so I don't make any money off this. There is no like ulterior motive. I don't know this guy. I found out who this guy was yesterday in between LaGuardia and Manhattan. So there's no motive here, but if you guys share that, or if you're looking to buy a swing set, the least I could do is help the guy out for giving me a great example. So if you're in a content business, think about like Tree Hugger or Livestrong. Like Livestrong started off as like this thing we all wore these yellow bands, and all of a sudden it became like I can't Google anything about my health without finding a Livestrong. So they suddenly became something much bigger because of where they started, right? So this even happens in content businesses. But if your version of building content is this, you will probably lose long term. I want a $5 an hour copywriter. For quality content, I'll pay somebody a lot more than that, and I'll get quality content. So if you want to step your game up, start reaching out to people on your email list. They care about what you already do. Ask them if they'd be interested in writing for you. Look at their background. You might find a journalism major for all you know that's in your email list. But start trying to use the connections you already have to find people who actually will write quality content. Sure, I can get an article written over here from articledone.com, 500 words, $20, but is that person passionate about whatever I want to write about? Probably not, right? Loser. That's what a Google engineer looks like. Did you really think that was going to work? We got you. $20 articles. Yeah, that's going to work. So when you look at the swing set, keyword, you got all these big brands showing up. But you do have smaller brands showing up here as well. Remember, that business I showed you, that's a drop ship business. So to me, that's basically an affiliate play. This isn't like, oh, I have to have a warehouse. What he probably realized is most people in this business were cutting corners. And with his savvy, he just said, hey, why don't I just create something that's actually appealing and looks nice versus what a lot of my competitors are doing that are crap. And I can win that way. And I'm just going to create relationships with people all over the world to cut the stuff the way I want. And I'm going to manage the customer service part. I'm going to create relationships with my customer. That's how they won. The problem right now is big brands they're finally getting it. 13 years ago, when I would talk to big companies, they were like, God bless you. They're like, we just launched our website 6 months ago. We don't need SEO, right? Yeah, well now they've woken up. And they realize that their authority, they can use to outrank a lot of your stuff. And they're starting to do it. Here's an example. Dick's Sporting Goods, they're being dicks. Look at that content about determining your hat size. That's not valuable. That's not. But because their domain has so much authority, they can get away with doing that. Anybody here from Dick's? Sorry if I called you Dick. But you know that's not valuable. Even if you work at Dick's, you know that that's not like really high quality content, right? There's nothing in that, determine your hat size. If you are unsure or between sizes, buy the larger size. I could have written that, right? So think about it. Like, these brands are starting to push you guys out of your spaces because they're just leveraging their domain power, which is smart of them. But I have this quote up in my cube. I look at it every day. Because every day when I think I got something figured out that no one else has figured out, I look at that and I go, nope, get on to the next thing, get back on your horse, Skip. It's time to do some more work. Your competitors aren't stupid forever. They're not. They're going to figure certain things out. So always stay a step ahead of them. Here's a site that ranks on the first page of Google for the word swing sets. Doesn't this just ooze SEO? Doesn't it just ooze like quality, schmality? I'm just going to rank for this and put some anchor text links to my other sites and link to crap all over the place. Look at that. That is the footer. Let me show you another footer for another site that ranks in the top 10 for the same keyword. Little Jimmy's going to be on the swing set. You want Little Jimmy on the one where the guy is just like doing anything to make a buck? Or somebody that looks like they care? And the difference is we really don't know if one cares more than the other. But what does the design make you feel like? Right? So yeah, they both rank 1, 8, 1, 9. If I click on 8 and 9, do you honestly think I'm not going to buy from them over them? There's no freaking way, right? So just because you rank for something doesn't always mean a whole lot. So this is my question, right? If your passion is to make money, if that's your passion, you're in trouble. Because there's somebody out there willing to do it for free, and they love it. It's called open source. There's a great video I wish I had a link to that talks about this phenomenon. Like, open source technology exists. People spend time working on stuff for free that other people are paying for after they get home from work because of the love of what they're doing. So, like I said earlier, for those of you that came in late, we're here to help. So it's why we got a booth today. I got all my top people that run all of our divisions. So it's me, 2 of my SEO people, the person that runs my paid search, and the person that runs my analytics. We are upstairs to help you. If you have an issue, come on up to our booth. We're going to help you. We're just there to completely help you guys out as you are trying to figure out all this crap. I'll help you find Penguin Panda issues along with Sarav. Then if you got any kind of crazy PPC issues, Crystal will help. And with anything analytics that doesn't add up, Rachel will totally geek out on that stuff. So that's why I think our company's winning in the long term, because we're just helpers. Like, we want to help people, right? People used to say to me, I can't believe you give out that much stuff in your presentations. And I go, well, one, it makes me want to go back to the lab and get better because I just gave out all my secrets. But 2, how many people in here know how to Google something? We all do. If you wanted to fix your toilet, you could Google it. The last time your toilet got clogged up, did you call a plumber? Many of you did. Doesn't mean you don't know how to do it. Just means that you don't feel like putting your hand in the toilet. So when I give out everything that I know, I don't need everybody to bum rush me and be like, oh my God, can you work with me? Here's my card. I don't even want that. I can't even manage all that, right? I just want to help people. And who in here is really passionate about buying old domains for link juice? Who wakes up in the morning and goes, today I'm going to buy some old domains and pass them 301 redirect link juice. I can't wait. Who wakes up saying that shit? Nobody. Today I'm going to buy some expired domains and sell them back to the owner and make money. Seriously? That's what you get excited about? Like, I don't get excited about that, man. Come on now. I get excited about building community. And this is one of the guys that's upstairs. And I never really thought about it that way. But then he said it one day. He's like, I'm hiring an SEO guy. And he tells me he's excited about building community. And I go, that's the kind of SEO person I want on my team. I don't want the person that's like, I built this script. Oh, you did? Oh, okay. You built a script. This guy wants to work hard and build community, right? I love that. You will get rankings increases and bumps by having community. First thing I want to talk about is Google Search plus your world. This is Google's personalized search. So here's something you can do. So we work with a company that competes with Bank of America. And I was trying to get them to start using Google+. And they're like, well, nobody's there. Tumbleweeds, nobody uses it. I said, okay. I said, none of the top 8 banks in the country rank on the first page of Google for the word bank fees. And I just use this as an example, right? I added all of them to circles in Google+, because none of them have any engagement. None of them showed up. Bank of America has some engagement on Google+. They are now ranked number 7. Personalized search is going to change the ranking report, guys. It's no longer just about where you rank, because it's going to change for everybody. So you don't see Bank of America at number 8 when you search for the word bank fees, but I do because I added them to my circles. So getting people to add to your circles and finding ways to engage them is a huge way to make sure that you get rankings. Yeah, sure, your ranking report might say 20, but if you connect with your community and connect with people, you will show here and you will get clicks and you will get conversions because it's first page. Then you've got things like authorship. You can see that I got like personal results, which is that little head and the little shoulders there. 60% of people that get to my site are logged into Google at the time they do it, which means that's a lot of people with Google Circles potential accounts that I can get to show up for all kinds of things that I otherwise couldn't get to rank. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about abusing authorship. This is crap. Let's not do this, guys. So like authors write content, right? And it's like, it's a gray area, like, well, that's a website and that person's the author. That was not the intention of the Google Authorship Project. I have sat with the head person at Google that runs the authorship program. That is not their intention. Trust me. Don't do it, because when they come through and sweep, you don't want to get hit. Here's an example. Diane Kahalana from Coupon Cabin. Are you here? I'm about to blow you up, girl. All right, so think about it. Like, this is a page with a bunch of coupons on it. This is not an article authored by someone. That is the purpose of the project. It is not to be like, I'm going to shove this person's face up there and hopefully get some more clicks, because I hear that I'm going to get more clicks, because it's actually not always true. Like, this doesn't look like a page that's authored, right? So they're looking for, yeah?
Question on that, though. Don't blog owners, when you claim a blog, you can claim, if pages aren't claimed, you claim the whole blog. Wouldn't that apply to it?
You can claim the whole blog, and that's fine, because a blog,
Would it show up on those pages, though?
But-
if you did claim the blog?
if you claim the blog, that's okay, because you're claiming the blog, right? And hopefully if your blog's homepage has content on it that's authored,
Yeah.
then it's cool. The problem is when this is like a gray area. And I'm not here to talk about the merits. I'm here to tell you that's not what Google wants. In the same way they didn't want you to stuff anchor text and they got that figured out, in the same way they didn't want you to put white text on white backgrounds and they figured that out, they didn't want you to cloak and they figured that out, this is the next one. Avoid the penguin slap. Avoid it. 1 second. So people are saying, oh, well, you can get a boost in your click-through rate there, and that's true. But if nobody knows who you are, that little chiclet doesn't mean a whole lot. It doesn't mean anything. It's, oh, I see a face of somebody I don't know. Valuable. No. We're getting a 25 to 30% boost on the articles that we've published. But the reason why is because you've got to be someone who's recognizable, right? That's what's going to make people click on that image. So again, here's another coupon site. Anybody here know Christina Moat? I don't know her. Anybody know her? I don't know her, right? So are you more likely to click on that just because she's there? Are you? I don't think so, right? How many of you in here have read something by Rand Fishkin at some point? Are you more likely to click on that result because his face is next to it? There's your answer. That's the difference. Some people get 0% boost and other people get 25, 30% because Rand is recognizable. He speaks, he helps people, he makes video. All of that reinforces when you go to do your searches and you see that little chiclet, it's somebody who you've already learned something from. So therefore you're more likely to click on the things that they're sharing or that they've promoted because you're like, oh, that person actually shares stuff that I have seen as valuable in the past. So the problem, not the problem here, but Christina should work on like a PR campaign for herself so that when she starts to show up, people start to see her as somebody who helps you get amazing Macy's coupon deals, right? But nobody knows her. So the chiclet doesn't help as much. Look at the result for Lincoln Park. This is a far cry from what the results looked like a year or two ago. And let's go through them. There's event listings that were geo-targeted because I was searching for this in San Francisco at the time. The band history is being pulled in, and links to all the members and the awards that they've won is there. You want to buy tickets? Oh, Ticketmaster's over there, and so is somebody else. You want to know all their songs and albums? They're there. There's news about them. Doesn't leave a whole lot of space for links anymore. Doesn't leave a whole lot of space for all those individual things, right? So you need to start looking at the results, guys, because Google's making a lot of changes like this, and I want to show you more of them. So who's going to dislike that? Who wants to hit the dislike button? Ticket brokers, concert providers that used to rank well for like Linkin Park tickets. It's going to suck when that happens to you. So start thinking, how can you add value? How can you make it bigger than that so you're not relying completely on Google to create your success? Here's the Philadelphia Zoo. Son of a bitch. Philadelphia Zoo. So I love the Philadelphia Zoo. I would encourage all of you to go. It's a beautiful zoo. Rocky proposed to Adrian, all that stuff, married in front of the Fountain Tigers Zoo. Go there. Philadelphia Zoo, you search for that. Guess what? You know how many hours it is, or whether hours are open. You know the address. You know other things to do. And you got a phone number. All right there. You don't need to click on their site anymore, do you? What does that do to their Google Analytics traffic? Gone. All of a sudden, it's like people aren't clicking on your site as much. Zoos aren't going to like that. Local to-do sites are also not going to like that. Things to do in your city, screwed. Yesterday, I ate at Quality Meats because it was close, and I wanted a steak. I searched for it. This is what the result looked like. Look at all that Zagat information over there. Price, hours, everything else. Nice. Yelp, and more Yelp is not liking that very much. So then they decided to partner with Bing, and you can see their results over there. I'm going to take my ball and go. Google's like, go for it. What's really interesting is when you redo that search logged in, it tells me that 2 of my friends have rated that place right there in the results. So let's click on it. Dave Minchala, smart dude, lives in New York. I know him very well. I talk to him all the time. He's a good friend. John Doherty lives in Brooklyn. Talk to him all the time. He's also a great friend. So I got to see that they reviewed those places and liked them. That's a lot better than, no offense, but any of you guys who I may not know your taste in steak, right? So wouldn't you want recommendations from your friends over somebody who's faceless and nameless that you don't know? Google's going, oh, if you're all in circles and connected, then we will make all this easier for you. And they are. Remember what I talked about, guys? Making things easier. I'd rather get recommendations from my friends. That's my hierarchy. My friends, then strangers, then whatever Google shows. This would have me shaking a little bit. I saw that and was like, that's a little nasty. Google is now showing, if I typed in NYC hotels, why don't you book hotels in New York and use the google.com/hotel finder? That sucks. I don't work at Google, but find another way to create value, guys, because they are coming into the travel space really hard. I just saw that for the first time the other day. I'm imagining this is hurting some of you guys in here who are travel affiliates, and there's nothing we can do. Well, I'm going to show you some things you can do about it. Screw that. There's always something you can do about it. I'm going to show you later. So we know you guys don't like it. And people are going to cry that Google's favoring brands. And if you actually look at Google's patents, they talk about entities, not brands. But there's certain behaviors that brands have, and the more you look like a brand, the more likely you don't have to worry about what we're just showing you. But when you cut corners, like those sites that just stuff words at the bottom and things like that, you don't look like a brand. And as a result, Google's trying to reward the sites that do more like brand activity. So I'm kind of happy. Google's finally rewarding brand activity. You know how long we got beat out for rankings that we should have ranked well for or should have had a chance to rank well for? Because somebody else was just willing to anchor text stuff over and over again, SEO company? It sucks. Because we're out there speaking all over the world, we're writing tons of content, we're helping people all the time, and Google was not rewarding us for that. Well, now they are. So forever, if you had no followers, no engagement, no customer service, no content, no nothing, you could win. That's crazy. It's like getting away with something for a while just because it works. There's a lot of things like that that you don't want to do just because it works. And that game is over. It's slowly becoming harder and harder to win if you don't do brand activity. So, engage with people. Here's another big brand example, but you know what? If I was trying to build a real site, I could give somebody a $250 gift card on Southwest to help promote my business. Hey, take some pictures when you travel on my trip, blah, 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 blah. Follow us here, do this, that. But you're going to have to do that. Have rabid fans. Oh, hopefully I won't get any, this is going to suck maybe. Before lunch on Tuesday the 17th, or whatever day it was, I called Revzilla and ordered a riding suit. That afternoon I received an email saying that the suit had shipped. On Wednesday the 13th, after lunch, the package was delivered to my door. This is terrible. I had to wait almost 27 hours for my gear. They should try to do better by maybe dropping it from a helicopter. When your own customers proactively decide to leave sarcastic comments about how awesome your customer service is, you are winning. And then other people did. This is a 4-page thread on a site. Yeah, I had pretty much the same experience. I bought a helmet, didn't like it, sent it back. It arrived back there yesterday. They sent me my money back the same day. What the fuck? I didn't even get to call customer service to find out when I would get my money back. They took all the fun out of the transaction. Are people saying that about your business? Don't laugh. Are people saying that about your business? If they're not, how are you ever going to beat these guys? Because they're doing it because they love it, right? They're going to make money on it, but they're doing it because they love it. And it goes on and on. Let me tell you my favorite one. I agree with everyone here. I had the same experience. Last spring, they had the nerve to draw my name from one of their monthly free gear giveaways and overnighted a full Olympia riding suit to me so I'd have it to break in on a trip to the Moab that same week. And to add insult to injury, they offered to send me 2 to make sure that the stuff fit. Evil selves that they are, giving me $900 of riding gear. Are you creating people that talk about your businesses that way? They are. Or how about this? How about you build a company that stands for something? That's newsworthy. You'll get links for that. Build a company that stands for something. I don't care what side of the aisle you fall in this debate, but stand for something. People will link to companies who share their expertise. Every other Wednesday, we do what we're going to do upstairs. We just say it to the world. Anybody that wants any advice on anything, shoot it out to us. And about 6 or 7 of us will sit around in a room and we'll start answering people's questions. In my opinion, building followers is the new link building. Building relationships is so much more valuable than building links. There are people in this room who, because I have relationships with them, I could ask them for a link in many ways that they would just go, yeah, sure, well, I'm more than willing to help you out. Because I have relationships with them, right? I've helped them at some point. They've called me up and said, my God, my site got hit. And I'm like, dude, I'm swamped, but I will take a quick look for you. Build relationships. And when you do that, you will win. I'm going to show you how. Influencers don't share $20 articles. Trust me, there's nothing being that well written for 20 bucks that I'm like, wow, that piece of content was awesome. I have to share it. Doesn't happen. I want you guys to also start thinking about authors versus sites. The Authorship project is about following authors and their influence, not just websites. Look how many authors are showing up here, right? How do you connect to those people? I got something for you. A buddy of mine built this. Follow him, because he's smart. There's the bit.ly. That tool will take any links that you put in. So let's say you have somebody that's linking to your site. It'll take that link. It'll find out that person's an author or not. It will then go and show you all the other places where they have authorship. Then you can build links on the other sites where they also have authorship, guys. High-quality sites that Google's giving authorship status to. A lot better than building low-quality links. Finding guest posts. So I don't like to just find guest posts with like query, like find guest post in quotes and then my keyword. That's so 1997. What we want to do is you want to take a list of links, and not some list that you scraped somewhere. Take a list of all the people that have ever commented on your blog and take their links. Grab all of your followers' URLs on Twitter, God bless you, out of FollowerWonk or a tool like that, and drop all their URLs in here. So take everybody who already cares about you and what you write about or talk about. Drop all their domains in here, and then the keyword there says guest post. This tool will tell you whether or not they have things on their site that show that they already accept guest posts. Yes? You're gonna get the URL. It's called the Find Guest Post tool by Chris Lee. There it is. And Chris Lee works with us. He's awesome. Please don't take up a ton of his time asking him to do something special. Like, oh, it didn't work for me. You know, like let him queue them all up and answer them at one time because he's got work to do. But no, he built this tool. I think it's awesome. So what I do is I take all my followers in Twitter and use a tool like FollowerWonk. It puts them all in Excel for me. I grab all their bios, paste them into this tool, and then just let the thing run. And it says, hey, all these people you know actually allow guest posts. I never knew. Quality links from relationships I've actually aggregated and worked on and people that I've worked with over the years. You can use it on link reports. So take all the links pointing to your site, drop them in here. It'll come back and tell you, hey, people linking to you also accept guest posts. Now don't think, well, they already linked to me, I don't need to re-engage. No, re-engage, get a new link, get different anchor text, diversify. You can use it on blog commenters. If you exported everyone who ever left a comment on your blog, and it's going to have their URL in there, because most times people leave their URL, you can run it against that. So in order to get that, because most people are like, how the heck do I get all my commenters in a CSV? Once again, DJ, Chris Lee, awesome guy that he is, built something to allow you to export all of your followers, or not all your followers, sorry, all of the people who've ever left a comment on your blog if you're on WordPress. And it also lets you actually score them using SEO Moz if you are a subscriber to SEO Moz. So then you can see who's ever left a comment on your site that has a high quality site of their own. Why? Because you want to get links from people like that, right? That's the kind of links that we want. Those are the kind of links that Google wants you to get. But without real commenters, it's completely useless. That's why I want you guys to build community, because you're not going to create any friendships this way. All right, so I want you guys to get content that converts. We don't get conversions from things like this, and we know it. You don't get conversions. You get rankings, which then drive conversions, but you don't get conversions directly from that. This is how I want you guys to start producing content. Stop hitting enter on Google. Stop hitting enter on Google. First of all, you got to change your display under the settings to remove Google Instant, okay? And then it'll give you 10 different results. Anybody here in the finance space? Couple hands? Good. If you want to help people figure out how much they should save per month, how much should they save on a retirement, how much should they save to buy a house, a car, how much should they save each paycheck, that's what people are already typing in. So just type in, how much should, how do I, and like one letter at a time, and your mind will start to open on all this content that people are out there looking for that maybe you're not even writing. Everybody in here probably writes to, or most people in here probably write to a blog to some extent. Shit. I'm running out of time. Do this before you write a blog post. It'll give you ideas, and then you put more keywords in your blog post that'll help it to rank for a larger group of words. I'm going to have to skip this, guys. I'll put this up. So how do you start building community? If you want to start building that, you got to think of what's the asset that other people aren't willing to spend the time to build. Look at your industry and say, well, who else is like trying to get the quick and dirty, okay, how can I get this thing built as quickly as possible and rank for it, and build something awesome, build something remarkable and amazing. And then you can start telling the world. And there's an app for that, Inbox Q. It allows you to put in things where you have expertise, and it will come back and fire back to you when people are asking questions that you can answer. So if you don't have any community following you now, or people that you really want to follow you, start here. It even scores them based on their influence. Go help these people. For me, I typed in SEO. Boom, found a bunch of people asking questions. I will go help answer their questions. That's how you build followers. That's how you build real followership. If you use Hootsuite, you can even add it as a tab. They've made it even easier for you to help people and build community. You can go right to Twitter. There's a checkbox under advanced search in Twitter for just questions. Drop in someone's name. Anytime they ask a question, you want to know. If you really want to stalk somebody that you really want to link from, get an alert every single time they ask a question. And try to help them. Don't be like, hey, you asked this question, do you want to buy my stuff? Actually help them. Like, it's that simple. From their Twitter handle and a question mark. Now, are all these great ones? No, but is it a great way to try to get in front of somebody who you want to get in front of and help them answer questions for them and help them to find out whatever they're looking for? Yeah. I do this with major speakers. If there are major speakers who I want to follow me, I do this with them, but then I include my city name in there. Why? Because when they go, I'm in Philly, I'm looking for a good place for a cheesesteak, gotcha, right? Oh, you go to gyms, you don't go here, you don't go there, and you start to engage with that person and connect with that person, right? If you're really savvy, you can set this up with if this, then that. Anybody ever use that tool? All right, you set this up with if this, then that, you can get text messages anytime the person you're stalking asks a question. Oh, you're asking a question, I'm going to answer you immediately. Why? I want to be on your radar. I want you to know. I love using if this, then that for stalking. So there's a bunch of other content ideas here. I'll upload this so that you guys can see it because I'm going to be over time. But I want you to pick on someone. I want all you guys, so last time I said get one, right? Last time my theme of my presentation was get one more follower. You're not going to get 10,000 followers tomorrow. Just try to get one. Try to help one person, right? This time, I want you to pick on somebody who's got stronger engagement than you. Rand Fishkin. That's my follower circle on the left. I'm basically like a pimple on Rand's ass, right? And I got like thousands of followers and whatnot, right? And like I think that getting like, ooh, I get 8 followers a day on average. That's awesome. No, that's shit. If I'm trying to gun for Rand Fishkin, and I am. I want to out-help Rand Fishkin. I want to help more people than Rand helps, right? And I'm not really making any headway. So that was like February. And this is like now, and I'm not really making any headway. But what's been the downside? What's been the downside of me trying to out-help more people than Rand Fishkin? What's the downside, guys? Nothing. I have made more relationships that I otherwise would never have had. I've connected with more people, and I've helped more people overcome their problems and the issues that they're facing when they're doing SEO. That's a pretty nice byproduct of failure, because I believe in karma. So think about that, guys. Find somebody who you're like, man, every time this person puts out a tweet, every time this person asks for this, there's so many people that respond to them. All right, try to out-help them. So if you're in the wine industry right now, try to go out-help somebody over Gary Vaynerchuk. Go for it. Why not shoot for that? Because worst case scenario, you end up helping a bunch of people. That's awesome. And I'm not talking about outlinking them. Don't try to outblog them or outfunny them. Legitimately try to outhelp people. And when you build your followers, you'll be amazed at what happens. So I'll skip this, and I want you guys to get started. So if there's any questions you guys have now, it's awesome. If not, I'm going right up to our booth, and I will take as many questions and try to help as many of you guys as I possibly can. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So I will take questions if somebody, okay. I guess I'll work the mic.
Hey, Will, great job. So I totally believe in everything you're saying, and I've believed that since 2003 in the Florida update, all right, which is the reason I don't rank for crap, because I don't do SEO, right? I just build community. But so I haven't really paid attention to SEO for all these years, which is why I don't rank. But now I finally have a business, and I am building a community, and I'm trying to get some traffic. But what I'm finding when I get back into this is that I'm still getting beat out by all that crap. How long before my community starts kicking their butt? That's, I mean.
So you guys all heard the question on the screen. It's slowly but surely happening. So what's interesting is I'm starting to see, who's next? Anybody, so I can start walking in that general direction, if anyone else? All right, so what I'm starting to see is our rankings are starting to go up, or our clients' rankings are starting to go up, not huge, incrementally, because Google's knocking the shit out. So it's not like one day you're going to jump from 20 to 5 because you're doing community well. But what will happen is you will jump from 20 to 18 because Google's knocking out some crap. And then Google's going to knock out more crap, and then you'll move from 20. So it's almost like where you naturally should have been. We're just starting to see that. I have a whole presentation on how to get links that black hats get in a white hat way. I don't know if I did that here before or not. But it's all like, hey, they're getting crappy links like this. You can just add a little bit more value and get the same kind of link. You know, oh, so they're getting site-wides on some site with anchor text. Well, then you can create like a real contest, right, for bloggers, or something where they're going to put a badge up on their site or something that gets you site-wides. Right, but you know what I'm saying? So you can almost like kind of fight some fire with fire. Because when you really look, that's the challenge. That's the challenge of marketing, is when I see somebody winning and doing complete crap, the real marketer goes, how can I get those same links they're getting without the risk that they're taking that someday it'll all be gone? I'd say you guys are probably 6 months out for the next update to come along. No. Sorry, I think it's about 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks. But these things are iterative. So it's like Panda. It came and knocked out a bunch of people, but then they've iterated it like 10 times. So it just keeps getting better and better and better and better. So that's kind of the same way I think Penguin's going to work. It's going to keep getting iterated over and over and over again. So it's not going to be a light switch just gets flipped and it works. The other thing I will say is if you have been building community, something that you have that other people don't have, pull your followers out of follower wonk. It's follower wonk, W-O-N-K. Pay for the couple credits. Export them all from Excel or into Excel, and do a search for the word writes for. I found that I had writers that write for the Huffington Post, Read Write Web, TechCrunch following me that I didn't even know. I wasn't even following them back. I didn't even know. So look for words like writes for, look for words like editor, look for words like journalist. Then take some of your target blogs and put them in there and search for them. HuffPo, Huffington Post, TC, TechCrunch, Read Write Web, RWW. And then one of the guys lived around the corner from me. There was a writer for Read Write Web that lives less than a mile from my office, and I didn't even know he was following me. So when you build community, I can give you a tip like that, and you can go build links all day long because you've created relationships with so many people that now you just want to use follower wonk and kind of scan their bios, Control F. Nothing super fancy, just Control F, writes for, editor, NYT, blah, 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 blah. And you create that, and you're like, crap, I got somebody following me from the New York Times. Now, we all know you can't just, can I get a link, dude? Not that, right? But then you start to say, well, what is it that you're looking for? I noticed you followed me. There are certain types of content that I write you're looking for. Next thing you know, you end up in a place like that. But New York Times writers aren't following people that get 25 fake followers from Pakistan. They're following the kind of people that are constantly out there trying to help people and push content out there. So if you've got community, that's how I build my links, if I had to now, is using follower wonk to find people who are following me who have access to really, really big sites. Guess we're not talking to you, buddy. What's the question?
I'll talk to you. Can you establish community as a company, or does it need to be personal? Like, can you establish a community for SEER Interactive as opposed to a community for Will Reynolds?
Good question. So it's, can you, and you guys, I mean, leave, like, seriously. Like, if you don't have a question or you don't hear the rest of my shit, just, like, go. So the question is do you create community around you or around the company? I'm a believer in trying to create community around the company because I work on a team. And, like, half the shit I present up here was sparked by somebody else, and I try to shout them out when I can remember where it came from. So if I just built community around Will Reynolds, then I'm undervaluing the contributions of my team. So I believe in doing it around the company personally, but that's just, I think that's a personal preference.
So can you do this where your tag name would be at SEER Interactive as opposed to at Will Reynolds?
It totally could be. Yeah. Right, exactly. My big thing we're doing for community, so Google Plus, guys, I'm trying to tell you one thing, is getting people to add you to circles will at some point have an impact that's greater than what it does now. So, like, why wait until that impact comes? It's like when people wait for algorithm updates, like, oh, the Florida update hit, now I should stop getting reciprocal links. I think what we should do is try to look a little further ahead. And I really do believe with the bets that Google's making, Google Plus ain't going nowhere. Did you guys see what they did for fantasy football? So Google Plus partnered with the NFL for fantasy football. Think about it. When you do, how many people here do fantasy football? How many of you hold the laptop open on Sunday? It sits right in front of you the whole time. Most of you, right? How many of your laptops have webcams in them? You see where I'm going? It's a lot more fun to talk smack to my boy and be like, yo, you fucking dumbass, you fucking lost, yo, Chad Johnson, bitch, right? Like, that's funnier to do face to face. Over the phone is kind of lame. So what Google's doing is Google just partnered with the NFL for people to use Google Plus because it's better to talk smack face to face. I really don't think Google Plus is going anywhere. So the way that we build community on Google Plus is we have every other Wednesday, we say, if anybody's got a question, ask it. And for an hour, we're going to answer it. And all those people start adding you to circles, which means every one of them has a higher propensity to see my stuff when they search for things where they need help on SEO, right? And I hope that as Google Plus becomes more and more pervasive, more and more people see it. So that's one of the ways, I think, but it's almost like things that are better for Plus than are better for Twitter. It's hard to actually help somebody on Twitter in 140 characters all the time. So shift those people over to Google Plus when you're trying to help them. Also use pictures and everything in Google Plus. When you look at engagement numbers, if it doesn't have a picture in it, it's off, it just completely falls off. There's a company called Simply Measured. They just came out with a study all about engagement on Google Plus, who's being successful there and it's all who's being successful. And I think it's a really, really good study. So if you guys are interested in it, just tweet at me and then I'll tweet it back to you because I didn't have the link in my slides. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'm heading upstairs, so if you have any questions, just let me know.